Hello and welcome. This is Royal Gorge Angler's video report for the South Platte River drainage, focusing on the Dream Stream above 11 Mile Reservoir and 11 Mile Canyon below 11 Mile Reservoir. Flows have been reduced into early fall flow season program. Usually we're looking at around 100 CFS during that time period. Right now we're in the mid-80s on both stretches at 87 CFS cubic feet per second above below Spinney Reservoir, above 11 Mile Reservoir in the Dream Stream, and 83 CFS around the Lake George area above into 11 Mile Canyon below 11 Mile Reservoir. So we should see those flows maintained through the fall season. I won't look for a flow reduction from that until about October 15, hopefully. Things can always happen and flows can be reduced at any time based on water demands, but we should see those flows maintain in the 80s, possibly even bump into the low 100s during the fall season runs of kokanee as well as brown trout into the river. As far as hatches go on these sections, we're continuing to see great trico activity. It's been one of the longest seasons for trico activity that I've experienced. It started very early and it's continuing to produce well and get some nice fish to the net on tricos. So I would recommend having a good selection of tricos in your box. Couple patterns that I really focus on those sections. First and foremost, a size 22 Ingalls Drowned Trico. This is Ed Ingalls pattern, size 22, probably pretty tough to see there, but excellent pattern. And that's kind of a pattern that sits low in the water column, something you're going to want to put behind an attractor dry in order to kind of have reference to where the fly is for watching strikes. A great pattern that sits high in the water column, Sprout Trico. The Sprout Trico is a great adult imitation of the Trico and one of my favorites in the size 22 as well. Other than that, focusing on tan caddis and terrestrials. My number one caddis pattern on that drainage, the Missing Link. This is a size 18. I like it in a size 18 and 20. It's a tan caddis. The body sits low in the water. Bleached wing, very visible. Excellent fly. Another great tan caddis pattern that I really try to take advantage of on that drainage is the Fat Caddis. Foam body, very visible, got nice little micro centipede legs, makes it real buggy. Great pattern for that drainage. As far as terrestrials go, I really focus on one pattern, and that's Charlie Craven's Baby Boy Hopper in a chartreuse color. Got the elk wing, very visible, floats very high, obviously all foam, size 16, very small. Pretty much the only thing left is small hoppers there, but can be very productive terrestrial fishing. As far as nymphing goes on these drainages, you can drown a trico and get it down deep and be productive fishing zebra midges, different variety of midge patterns. But what I like to focus on in the fall, especially is the brown trout are pre-spawn in these river systems and starting to move up into the Dream Stream. I like to focus on attractor nymphs, and the one series of nymphs that I believe is one of the most productive on this drainage is the Prince series. Now, not a standard Prince, although the standard Prince is an excellent fly, but I suggest looking at a series of hot wire Princes that kind of, are beefed up versions of standard prince nymph. My first and most favorite during this time period is going to be the Red Hot series of hot wire princes in the red color ribbing on the body. And simply a prince nymph, you know, with a red wire body. Another excellent pattern, because there are a lot of caddis in the system still, is the hot wire prince in a chartreuse hot wire body color, and we tie that with a nice little wet collar. Makes it real buggy, moves a lot in the water column. Excellent fly. My third selection on that prince series is the hot wire prince in a gold color. Gold is just an all-around excellent producer in the South Platte drainage. When the PMDs start kicking around all the way through the fall season, fish are really keyed in on yellow, and yellow seems to produce. So I'll throw those flies up front, maybe some type of March brown stone, or attractor, you know, egg pattern, or, you know, other attractor nymph. Other patterns that I would trail behind it as a dropper, which are the patterns you really want to focus on, kind of in the red quill, the rust coloration right now, due to the fact that there's a lot more red quills and red quill nymphs kicking around. So a focus on a pheasant tail, but not only that, we tie our pheasant tails on scud hooks. They're termed Quasimodo pheasant tails, and an excellent series. And I would recommend those in a size, you know, 18 or a 16 even. Another great fly in that kind of pheasant tail family is the scuba nymph, which is just an extremely buggy version of the pheasant tail. Got a nice emerger wing, and an excellent representation of the pheasant tail, but very emerger-like, and you can even fish that up in the water column and do well with it. A final fly that I love to throw deep, and especially in heavy oxygenated water and riffles, is the Morish's hot wire caddis. And I throw that in a tungsten in this time of year with a rust colored body. The tan caddis emergers and larvae are much darker, and so it covers that base as well as red quill coloration, and just a great emerger overall. You can fish that deep. You can fish it up in the water column as a true emerger, but I usually throw that behind one of those hot wire princes. That's in a size 16 and 18. Another excellent pattern to focus on with that rusty coloration, Charlie Craven's 2-bit hooker in that rust color, nice and heavy, slender body, excellent representation of a red quill. And, you know, other patterns that seem to produce very well during the end of the trico season into the fall season, especially for the brown trout run on the Dream Stream and 11 Mile Canyon. One of my favorites, the tungsten WD-50. That's just a flashback WD-40 and with the tungsten bead, nice and heavy, size 20 to 22. And last but not least, a great attractor nymph throw behind any bigger fly prints, egg pattern, etc. Your Rainbow Warrior. Rainbow Warrior is just a pure producer, and I like that in a size 20. So those are some flies to focus on. Like I said, you know, look for flows to be consistent in that 80 to 100 range. Hopefully maybe a little bump, a little higher. As fish start to move into the system, hopefully in decent numbers. Be very wary of fish working on reds, actively spawning. Focus on the fish in the deeper runs and tail outs rather than the fish on shallow beds. Be very cautious of that. Those fish are actively trying to reproduce, and we need that for that fishery. So be very careful, especially be careful of where you're wading on the river. If you see any very clean gravel where fish have noticeably worked the gravel, please find another spot to cross or actively move around that spot. That's a very important piece of our fishery. We really want those reproduction numbers to stay strong, and that's very important. Have a great time out on the water. If you have any questions, feel free to call us toll free 888-994-6743 or join us at our new fly shop location 2 miles westbound of Canyon City, heading up to the South Platte River. And thank you so much for viewing this fishing report, and have a great day on the water.